Great afternoon. LinkedIn Live, day 13 on the 21-day LinkedIn Live challenge. Say hello, hi as you jump on. I'm so excited to see you jumping on. As always, I will kindly ask you to share this video if it resonates, if it rings a bell, if you feel like someone will benefit from it. You know exactly who it is. If that's the case, please share this video with them in a private message or on your profile, or when it lands on my YouTube channel, you can do that as well. That always is very much appreciated because it makes a difference in the world. And so today on day 13, I want to talk about a cleanup and what would be a better time to clean things up if not the end of the year. What is a better time to get rid of certain things, to get rid of certain patterns, to get rid of certain even relationships, if that's what needs to happen, if not the end of the year, so that you can start the next year from a clean and clear slate. So I felt inspired to speak about this because I noticed I have this one behavior that I really appreciate about myself. Since quite a long time now, I unsubscribe from all the nonsense emails that I might be receiving. And so my inbox is pretty damn clean. And every time there's some unexpected email that lands in my mailbox, I always unsubscribe because I don't see the point. Why do I receive this? Obviously, there are emails that I receive and I welcome them in my inbox, and I want to be subscribed to those emails, and I want to be informed and stay in touch with that person or that company or whatever it is, right? But it's all extremely intentional. And that is exactly the same with everything else in my life. With my wardrobe, if you haven't watched one of the previous lives where I was doing a little bit of a preview for a fashion show about cleaning up your wardrobe, it's also the same with people, relationships, even clients. There was a time when I had to say it's time to move on to some of my previous clients, and I referred them to some fellow coaches to continue their journey with someone else because I just felt like it wasn't resonating anymore. The cleanup also happened with food, with habits, with the way I spend my time, with the way I invest my time and energy. So a cleanup is extremely important in all areas of your life, all of them. It, first of all, enables you to no longer be distracted, to no longer be cluttered, to no longer waste your precious time on things that do not matter. Because when you receive an email or a bunch of emails, which are complete nonsense, and you need to archive them or delete them, that does take energy. Even if you don't delete them, but you're just skimming through the emails to choose which ones are important, to find the ones that are important, even that is a waste of your time and energy. You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be digging in the pile of garbage for gold. So, really, that's what this entire conversation today is all about. Where do you feel like you have too much garbage and you keep on having to search for gold amongst the garbage? Another example is your wardrobe. You open your closet, it's such a mess. There's so much stuff. Some of the stuff is from 20 years ago and you haven't worn that thing forever. It's still there. It's still cluttered. Somewhere in your closet, deep down, somewhere there. The easiest and the most liberating thing that you can do for yourself is to have a closet where you actually know what you own. You actually know what's going on. You actually know exactly where is what. You actually know exactly what fits with what. And so, yet again, you are not wasting your time and energy. You see, all of these things, they are costing you. They're costing you your lifetime. Whether that's in your inbox, mailbox, whether that's in your closet, whether that's in your kitchen, whether that's in your fridge, whether that's in your calendar. Your calendar is filled with meetings which don't move the needle whatsoever. Every time you show up in those meetings, you wonder what are you doing there? Why are you wasting your time? And so you see, when you're wasting all your time on all of these things, all of this clutter, all of this nonsense, resentment starts to build up. And you start feeling like there's no intentionality, there's no purpose. It just makes no sense. So I really want you to start think about it. And I want to share a little story from a long time ago when I lived back in Brussels, Belgium, with my then partner. And to paint a little bit of a picture, a context for the story, my partner was severely sick for quite a while at the time. He was such a beautiful human being, such a wonderful man. I fell in love with him. I truly thought that he was going to be my husband one day. We started living together. I moved from the Netherlands to Belgium to be with him. Everything was so wonderful. And after about a year of being together, he started having these crazy symptoms in his body. And because of those symptoms, I will not go into detail, but because of those symptoms, he couldn't work, he couldn't function properly as a young, previously very healthy man, very active man, someone who used to be a snowboard teacher and a break dancer and a bartender and a student in the university. At the time, we were both students in the master's degree. And so he was a very awesome person. And suddenly, yeah, his health just wasn't treating him well anymore. And at the time, he was maybe 27 or 28 years old. And so, because of that, I took responsibility on my shoulders to provide for our little family, for our little household. And I was the only one who was bringing income. I was the only one who was sponsoring any kind of getaway for a weekend or so. And so it was really tough, right? We were really living tightly. And I remember because we couldn't really do much because of his health, because physically he wasn't able to handle a lot, and emotionally he was very fragile. And so life became kind of boring and kind of monotonous, and there was not much going on, and we couldn't really do much, basically. And as Brussels is quite close to Paris, I had this idea, why don't we go to Paris for a couple of days? It's going to be so awesome. We will change the environment a little bit. It's going to be something different for a few days. Why not? And so we buy tickets to go to Paris by bus because that's all we could afford at the time. And I remember having all of these ideas of how this trip is going to be the most incredible trip. Like, we are going to reconnect with life and romance, and we are going to have a lot of fun, and it's going to be so wonderful to be together, not in the same environment, in this small apartment in Brussels where we lived at the time. Because that's basically the only environment where we were spending time together, because he barely could actually leave the house even because of his health. And so we arrived to Paris. And of course, for me, it was like, oh my God, let's go do some shopping. How amazing. Like, it was also, I believe, November or so. So it was quite chilly. And so going to some shops, it was one of the great strategies to warm up. And we started doing a little bit of shopping. And guess what happened then? We're doing shopping where we started realizing that we have a very different understanding about how to shop. Because I was judging him for spending too much money, especially because I was the one responsible for the budget and bringing all this money to the household. While I, on the other hand, was limiting myself by going to the cheapest of the cheapest shops and buying all sorts of things that I didn't really fully like. And I remember, like it was yesterday, how we both were so annoyed with each other because we had such different understanding about shopping, that instead of enjoying the time in Paris, we became so bitter that one night it just completely exploded. Where he was like, you are only buying the shittiest crap that is going to only last maybe 1 or 2 washes anyway. It makes no sense to have all this, I don't know, bazillion of different things which you will have to throw out very soon anyhow. And I, on the other hand, was like, and you don't value the money that I bring, and then you just buy one pair of something like these fancy jeans or whatever it was, and you're not valuing what I bring to this household, to our family, and ah. Now that fight is one of the biggest fights I ever had with him in the history of being with him for 5 years and living together. Despite having very, very, very complicated circumstances because of his health and everything that was affected by it. And for whatever reason, that one fight became such a freaking explosion that not only that it destroyed our little beautiful supposedly romantic getaway to Paris, but also I remember that particular fight like it was yesterday, all these years later. And so why that story, why that fight was so potent, and I remember it so vividly, why it left such a mark in my memory, is because it taught me a very, very, very good and very important lesson. In that situation, I was not right. Looking back, I was fighting as if I know I'm right. I know what I'm saying. I'm not doing anything wrong. It wasn't wrong to buy a lot of things that were cheap and shitty quality. It wasn't wrong. It's not wrong to buy things which are not great. It's not wrong. But what I realized is that at the time, I was fighting for something that I actually didn't have a strong opinion about. And in fact, very quickly, I realized that my partner at the time was teaching me a very good lesson about quality, about what's truly important in life, about investment. And yet I was defensive. I thought I was doing everything right. I thought that I was, saving money or something. While he was actually teaching me a lesson how to treat money, how to invest in something of great quality, how to treat any purchase as an investment that will bring something back for years to come, months to come. And so looking back at that situation, I realized, oh, wow. Because of that fight, because of that trip, even though I don't remember that trip as this most romantic, wonderful time with my boyfriend, I remember it as a tipping point where I was no longer holding myself in this scarcity of, oh, but I only have a limited amount of money, so I have to buy as many things as possible for that money. In fact, I realized I would rather buy one piece of clothing, or I would rather not spend this money at all and save it for something far better quality that makes me feel absolutely amazing, that makes me fall in love with that piece, that will stay in my closet for a very long time, and I will continue wearing it for years to come. That piece is going to handle 50, 100, 200 washes, no problem, and is going to be something that lasts, something that's classy, something that matters. It will have history behind it. There will be intention behind it. There will be beauty. There will be care. There will be something about this piece is going to be really, really like it makes me feel amazing wearing this or owning this. And so this, what is it? What's the word that I'm looking for? This learning, this lesson, this insight from that experience changed everything. That's precisely why I'm talking about cleaning up your inbox. That's precisely why I'm talking about cleaning up your closet. That's exactly why I'm talking about cleaning up your fridge or your kitchen, your entire house. And that's precisely what it looks like when you also start cleaning up your mind, when you start cleaning up your relationships, because you start noticing where you're wasting your time and energy with people you actually don't quite enjoy spending time with. You realize that it doesn't add value to your life. You realize you don't have boundaries. You realize you don't have standards. You see, when you start truly caring about quality, about the quality of what's landing in your inbox, about the quality of the products that are there in your fridge, about the quality of the clothes that are hanging there in the closet, about the quality of the people that you spend your time with. That is when you realize that everything is a matter of standards. Everything. But those standards is really more than anything, it's about resonance. What resonates with you? Is this person resonating with you? Do you actually have something really exciting in common? Do you really truly enjoy spending time with them? Do you feel like your life becomes better, more exciting, more loving, there's more inspiration, there's more quality because you have invested your time and energy to spend this time with this person? Resonance, standards, quality. When you put those three things in the front and center of your life, in all areas of life, it becomes effortless to set boundaries. It becomes effortless to say no. And I know it's quite tricky and challenging at first to start saying no. Most people are very uncomfortable with saying no because it might feel like, oh, but I'm rejecting someone, or they might take it wrong, or they will feel like I'm judging them. It's not about that. Your discomfort to reject someone, you have to get used to that. You have to get used to the fact that, well, the clothes that you will reject, that you no longer like, and you know that they actually don't belong in your closet, it's okay to let them go. Yeah, but I spent so much money, or I had them for such a long time, or I received it from a friend of mine who gave it to me, or my husband bought it for me. You don't owe anything to anyone. Your standards, the quality of your life, how you treat yourself has nothing to do with other people. And it's time for you to start getting comfortable with saying no, with setting those boundaries, with, in a sense, rejecting them, even though it's not really rejection. It's just you living your life. But here's the thing, a lot of the times, people don't dare to clean up their lives because they feel like they don't deserve that kind of quality or that kind of standard. You see, back then, when I was having that fight with my then boyfriend, when I was only allowing myself to buy very low quality clothes, but many of them, it happened because I didn't feel like I deserved something better. At the time, I felt like all I could afford and all I deserved were those shitty clothes. And so that is a matter of inner work and really realizing, wow, it does resonate with me to have higher standards, higher quality, to treat myself better. But somehow there is some kind of resistance. I don't feel comfortable doing so. I don't feel comfortable treating myself so well. There is a part of me who feels like an imposter. There is a part of me that feels like I haven't earned it yet. So if these kind of questions come up for you, you've got to investigate and be like, wait a second. Of course I deserve it. Of course I'm worthy of it. There's nothing to be earned here. You don't have to earn high caliber people in your world. You don't have to earn incredible human beings in your friend circle. You don't have to earn amazing clients. It's not about earning anything. It's about knowing your worth. It's about owning who you really are. It's about really working on yourself, on your self concept, to build that unshakable confidence that, gosh, well, duh, of course I'm surrounded by incredible human beings. Of course, the people who are in my inner circle are loving and supportive and inspiring and talented and successful and just freaking badasses. Of course. You see, it's no longer a negotiable. It's no longer something that you have to kind of keep up with or hope for or wish for. It's because you become that person. You become successful, talented, skilled, kind, loving, inspiring. You are the person who is really fun to be around. And so you become a match to those kind of people, to those kind of clients, to that kind of partner, romantic partner. And because of that, inevitably, you are not going to resonate with wearing low quality clothes anymore. You're not going to resonate with eating crappy food anymore. You're not going to resonate with, I don't know, living in a place which doesn't make you feel incredible about yourself, about your life. When you become that person, when everything is intentional, when you know your worth, when you know how much you put on the table, when you know how talented you are, how powerful you are, how much you can give, how much you are giving in your business, in your work, as a friend, as a daughter or a son, as a father or mother, as a boss, employer, as a service provider, whoever, as a romantic partner, spouse, husband or wife, when you realize how much you have given already, it's like, oh my God, of course I deserve the very best. Like, are you kidding me? Of course it's important to me. Of course I'm going to treat myself with utmost love and care. And you see, some people would say, yeah, but I don't really care about, you know, fancy things. It's not about fancy things. It's far more about you living your life that's in resonance with your authentic self. You living in resonance with what feels great to you. high quality usually feels great. It doesn't have to be something outrageous or crazy just to show off. It's just what resonates with you, what makes you feel amazing. And for some of you, it might be, you know what? Actually, I really don't care about my clothes, but what I do care is about, I don't know, my electronic devices. Or maybe you have a hobby and you're a cyclist and you want to have the absolute best bicycle and absolute best helmet and an absolute best outfit, the absolute best watch to track everything while you're cycling. Maybe that's what really matters to you. So I'm not suggesting that everything in your life has to be a certain way. It's not about that. It's about you finding in which area of your life quality truly, truly matters. And if I may suggest a little bit of that, people matter the most. Who you surround yourself matter the most. Your romantic partner matters the most. Your friend circle, business partners, clients matter the most. And I would say that the way you treat your body also is equally important. It truly matters what you put down your throat. It truly matters whether or not you move your body, because your body is a temple and you love your temple and you want to treat it the best that you can. But again, you won't treat your body the best that you can, and you won't surround yourself with incredible human beings who matter the most if you are not being that person of high quality who works on yourself, who is continuously evolving, who is constantly growing, who is eager and driven and motivated, who is taking action, who is taking responsibility, who is looking at their own behaviors and actions and actually really wonder, I probably could have approached it differently. Next time, I will do a better job. Next time, I will respond differently. Next time, I will apologize. Next time, I will say things in a different way. When you take that kind of responsibility, that's when it becomes so easy to clean up your life. You don't have to force anything. You don't have to force yourself and drag yourself to your closet like, oh, now I have to clean it up. Now I have to clean up my inbox, or now I have to clean up my fridge, or now I have to have all these uncomfortable conversations with people around me. It's not, it's not that complicated anymore because you are a powerful being. You're like, well, it's easy for me to have these conversations. It's fun for me to go and clean up the stuff in my closet and fridge and whatever. It's exciting for me to clean up my life from things that are just clutter. I want to clean up my life to the extent that it expands capacity, creates spaciousness for new things to come in, for opportunities to come in, for new people to join my life, enter my life, for my attention to be open to more ideas. There is more quality, there is more depth, there's no more distractions. So I really want you to dive deep into all of this. Hello, Dorothy. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dorothy, for this lovely message. Do I understand correctly that you're probably in Estonia or something? United States and Estonia. Estonian flag. Looks like it. That's cool. So, cleaning up your life is an exciting journey. It's not a burden. It's not difficult. It's not a struggle. It's not like, oh, okay, fine, I'm gonna do it. It's not like that at all. It's actually the most liberating thing you can do. It's liberating, it's fun. You can put on some music, you can put on something fun like a podcast or a comedy show to listen to, and you do it. And this is just the first step to go in the direction of higher standards, better quality, more time for things that actually matter, more space for things that actually matter. It's fun and beautiful. And also, the people who don't resonate with you anymore, who don't add that value anymore, over time, they're going to fade away. It's exactly what happened in my life. The people who were no longer meant to stay in my life, they just faded away. Bit by bit by bit. I didn't have to do anything special. It just happened. So that is it for today's live, day 13 of 21-day LinkedIn Live Challenge, which I'm super excited about. That we are, how many days now? 7 more lives until the end of the year. And again, if you found this extremely supportive and helpful, I know you will have someone in your mind who will benefit from this too. So please share this video with them as well. It will change their lives. And if you apply all of these insights and suggestions, recommendations, I promise you your life is going to also change as well. Have a beautiful rest of the day and see you tomorrow. Bye bye.